I'm Jackson Barmore, and I love vintage cars. Right now, I'm strolling down Route 66 in one of my favorite vintage cars quite possibly ever made. Never mind, I'm a minor. I'm in 3rd grade. I don't know how to drive. It would be a bad ending. So for now, I'm just going to need to settle for model cars. And I love collecting model cars and building model cars. This is the 1963 Corvette Stingray. It is the first year for the 2nd generation and the first and only year to ever have the split window. A lot of car enthusiasts would love to get their hands on one of these because it's the first and only year to have the split window, and some people took it off. If you're wondering what the first generation looked like, here it is. I'm sitting in it. Guys.
Jack, what are Corvettes made out of?
Corvettes have always been made out of fiberglass, but the new 2020 may or may not have some carbon fiber in it. It is also the first year to have a 327. 62 is also the first year to ever have the 327 small block, a legendary small block that a lot of Chevys had. This thing also has a 4-speed manual transmission.
Jack, why did Chevrolet build these cars?
They built this because after World War II, when the GIs came home, they fell in love with the European sports 2-seaters there. So the American car companies decided we're gonna make that. So then Chevy made the Corvette in 1953. The first generation lasted from 1953 to 1962, what I'm in. It is awesome.
What about the trunk, Jack? They all have trunks?
No, this is the last year to ever have a full actual trunk, and that they brought that back in the early 2000s.
And how many horsepower does this particular one have?
This one has 340 horsepower.
Does it have a posi traction rear end?
Oh yes, posi traction is when if one wheel slips, the other one grips.
And on these 62s, did they paint the coves white on them or no?
No, that's another difference between the 61 and 60s. The one before them, they all painted the white coves, but the 62, they didn't. And then after that, the Stingrays didn't really have coves at all, so they couldn't be painted.
So Jack, the new Corvette, is that a front engine like this is?
No, it's the first year the 2020 Corvette is the first year and probably the first year of many to have a mid-engine. It can be considered a supercar, really.
And what do we have over here, Jack?
This is an 1968 AMC AMX, but that's a story for a different day. You also should not put ethanol in any of these cars, and also the fire. You should never put ethanol in any classic cars because it's so moisturized and it can break down the rubber gaskets in the old classic engines, and that will make the engine not last that long.
So Jack, when you grow up, what kind of cars are you gonna drive?
Vintage 60s Corvettes, early 60s to 50 Corvettes. I love these things.